Greetings from the Pleiadian Council for Ascension of Humanity and its furtherance of consciousness throughout the greater united plane of consciousness from which all exists. Understand this placement that you have upon this planet. Understand your consciousness placement that you have upon this planet. For it isn't a random act that you are here, for it isn't a random act that your consciousness plays a greater part in all humanity. For each of you have a position within the council, not all simultaneously working together, but each of you have a placement. And it is to understand this placement. For you are not alone, much of humanity is there as well. This is an open council. And it is to understand the function. It is to understand your function, but it's also to understand the function of this greater council. For much has been placed upon humanity in this understanding of ascension. For it is the difficulties in understanding ascension and exactly how and when and where. But you see, that is only for your human construct to decipher. This is what gives you outlook. This is what gives you hope, if it were. And yes, is there a significant event in your future? Yes. But you have to look at this event a bit differently. Yes, it has been explained quite well throughout your teachings. But it is to understand this action of ascension is upon you. You have been enveloped in it since you've incarnated into this body. Because this is the agreement. This is the action that you decided to take within this existence. You hold a piece of the ascension puzzle. Each of you. All humans do. All humans of this time. For it is there. Humanity. Set aside the humans themselves. Set aside the physical humans themselves. The divine pieces that have been brought here upon the planet that are now incarnated. It is that piece of the puzzle that is necessary to level up, to ascend, however you wish to put it in context for your human mind during this period of existence. There is an entire wave of consciousness that is waiting to enter. Think of this as you've learned and understood about this aspect of a reset. This would be a very similar action to a reset. An entire cluster of humanity is ascending. It is moving forward to a point at which they are going to be in that new dimensional plane. But there's an entire cluster waiting to fill in. They are on hold. That bit of consciousness is on hold, allowing humanity here to raise their consciousness, their awareness, to leading them to that point at which the final stage is this event. The final stage, this event, is there to take everyone, in your terms, across the finish line. The ones that are reluctant, the ones that are dragging their feet, the ones that question everything, the ones that, to your perception, do not believe a thing before their eyes. They too will be taken up. They too will cross the line. So it is to have in your own presence now, during this time. Yes, be inquisitive, but have solace, have comfort, have acknowledgement that you, along with every other being upon this planet, is doing exactly what they need to do for consciousness to be where it needs to be so that it can ascend. You are raising that consciousness point. You're, in terms, knocking at the door of the fifth dimensional plane. You're operating in that vibrational stream. You're not in it, you're operating at it. Because your consciousness floats above and below that plane. Your energetic floats above and below that plane. This is why at times many of you feel this sensation within your physicality that this physicality doesn't exist. You feel as if you've been displaced. You feel as if you've been disconnected for a moment. These are the moments that you dip into that fifth dimensional plane and come back down. These are all preparatory moments. So it is to have this understanding of gratitude, of joy, of love, and understanding that you are part of this greater mission. Not a question of when, how many more months is it going to be before? Yes, are there waves? Yes, there are waves. But there have been waves since the point of this generational bubble that you exist in. There have been waves moving towards that from that point. So you have to see it from a greater perspective, not just the human life that you exist in. Take the oldest individual that is upon your planet at this moment. That individual exists within this consciousness bubble that has been preparing and moving towards and adjusting and leveling up and moving consciousness towards that ascension final point. Have there been waves? Yes. Smaller waves than you can perceive. And will there be larger waves that will move across? Yes. Those will be the ones, many of you included, that will jump into the fifth dimension. You will not need the final push. You'll jump into fifth dimension so that you can be there to receive those in, assist them, guide them, unlock them. So there is a greater whole to this action of ascension. For ascension is nothing more than the term that you have put upon it. Ascension is a natural course of existence with consciousness. So enjoy the moment that you have. Enjoy this life that you have. Do not complicate it by what should I be doing? How many more months? When is the date? What is it going to feel like? What is it going to look like? For each, it will be individual. Some will be swept off their feet. Others, it will be a blink of an eye. Others, it will be a breath in. Some will be overwhelmed to the point at which the body begins to deteriorate. And for those individuals, the body will no longer be needed because they will surpass the fifth, the sixth, the seventh. They're on a different trajectory. Their contract is a bit different, and it has been from the point at which it was first generated. So at all levels, you have to understand there is change. Do not go into it with an expectation. Do not go into it with a, this is how it will be. For that might be how it is for you, but it won't be that for the next to you. But understand, there is a new bubble of consciousness waiting to fill in right behind you, starting the process over again. Another generational bubble to fill in, to take up what has been left behind. Will they be more aware than you when you first came in? Yes, but that is the natural cycle. Will they still be in the third and fourth dimensional plane? Yes. Will you recognize them? Some, yes. But understand, this is the course. This is how it has been from the beginning. This council has been in place since the first stabilized humans inhabited this planet. This is the natural course. This is the natural action. So allow yourselves to adjust to that truth within your existence, within your consciousness. For it is to understand all play a role. All have it within them. It is actualizing it in your own existence that allows the greater whole of consciousness to receive it, thereby raising consciousness as a whole for all of humanity.
Thank you so much for your presence.
And we thank you for allowing this transmission to be part of your experience.